host Davey Coon, and joining me is former champion David Bailey, and down in the pits, Robbie Floyd, and Ricky Carmichael is just unbelievable. But don't let us tell you, listen to some of these past heroes.
I don't think anybody ever expects to be undefeated, but he's definitely having a tremendous season, and he's been putting out a lot of effort. I think the whole team has, and he's got a lot of good support behind him. He's a great athlete, and he's definitely capable of it.
It's pretty amazing, actually. I mean, that's all you can say. It's just a phenomenal display of talent, and you know, everything gelling at the right time. And you can't. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say, "Well, I don't think the competition is as good as it used to be, or this or that." You know, I don't buy into that. I buy into the fact that Ricky is just he's on a roll right now, and he's doing everything right, and he's you know, I give Ricky all the credit. I'm not going to take away from the competitors because they're trying their hardest, and Ricky's just amazing.
You know, he's got a great family behind him that helps him all week long. It's all in his preparation. You know, he prepares himself. He busts his ass all week long. Comes to the races on the weekend. It's easy for him. So it's all in the preparation.
Well, there you see Ricky Carmichael, the man they're talking about, and that is his season to date. 18 straight moto wins, 9 straight overall wins, and he can clinch his 3rd consecutive 250 outdoor title. Let's go down to Robbie Floyd.
Thanks, guys. Ricky Carmichael, any pressure on you whatsoever? You're undefeated for the year. Everybody's looking over your shoulder.
No pressure. You know, I'm dealing with it pretty good, the streak and everything, and looking forward to racing here at Millville. I enjoy the track, and going to try to keep the streak alive and also win a title.
It's like a pitching game out there. You got the perfect game going so far. Have people been afraid to ask you about it too much? I don't think that's the case.
Well, at the beginning, they weren't asking me, but now that it's getting so close, they definitely are asking me. But, you know, there's a lot of odds against me, and I'm going to try to do it. You know, I've come this far and only have 6 more motos, so I'm going to give it 110%.
Is there any doubt in your mind that you're not going to take home the championship today?
There's always a slim doubt, you know, with maybe a mistake from my part or something goes wrong with the bike, you know, but try not to worry about that and try to go out there and do what we've done the whole series.
Well, good luck, Ricky. All right, now let's take a look at the playing field out there, and Cameron's not able to join us today, so I thought I'd bring in the righty from Temecula, the Budman, Buddy Antunez with the Suzuki Fast Lap.
Thanks, Robbie Floyd, and I'm stoked to be doing the Suzuki Fast Lap this weekend. Hey, fans, don't forget to register at any of the remaining nationals to win this Sobe Suzuki motorcycle at Steel City at the end of the year. But let's talk about Millville this weekend. It's one of the roughest tracks. There's whoops, ruts, uphills, downhills, everything. Let's get on board. Right now, we're coming around the first turn area, coming down this fast straightaway. You get into 4th gear, tons of bumps coming down this straightaway. You're coming down to 3rd gear, just trying to get over those things, keep the rear end beneath you, because you can get some swaps. You know, anything can happen down that straightaway. Coming up over this little tabletop, just trying to get your breath right now, getting ready to come into these sandy sand whoops that are just monsters each year. And basically for me, I think I'm going to try to just get a tempo, get a rhythm, try to double all the way through, and try to do the same thing every lap, because they change every lap, and you never know what they're going to be sometimes. And then you turn right, left, and come into another set of sand whoops. This time they're only having a rut all the way through it, and you can venture outside of the rut sometimes, but it's very tough, gets very soupy, sandy. Coming up next right, coming into the shadows, which will get the second part of the motos, and coming up to your first elevation change of Millville track. All right, now we're coming around this back tree turn where there's 3 doubles afterwards. Cameron Steele, that's 6 singles for you, buddy. There's a double there, another double there. Into this rutted face double where you've got to kick it back to the left to get set up for this final uphill at Spring Creek. And that's your Suzuki Fast Lap.
Well, good deal, Buddy Antunez, and you know that guy can do every jump on the track. Taking a look at our Suzuki starting lineup, Ricky Carmichael, of course, leads the fields. Then you have a bunch of 4-strokes. Tim Ferry, Mike LaRocco, Kyle Lewis, lots and lots of thumpers. Nathan Ramsey, don't forget about Ricky's Honda teammate, putting in some good rides lately. Also keep an eye out for Evan Lockridge, who just won the AMA's prestigious Horizon Award with 2 victories at the AMA Amateur National Championships at Loretta Lynn's. Now, back to the professional ranks. You are looking over the shoulder of the undefeated Mr. Perfect himself, Ricky Carmichael. The cart is getting ready to go sideways. It's an all-dirt start here at Millville. Long, at least the length of a football field, and then they make a sweeping right-handed corner. The cart is sideways, And they are off, and there goes Carmichael. A good, clean start right up the middle. And it's John Dow on the outside. Carmichael out drags him through the corner. Carmichael gets the whole shot against all those open pass fights.
It's just amazing. This kid can pull these guys every week, but if you look at power to weight ratio, Ricky is little. He's light. And that 250 is a little bit faster than it would be if it had Mike LaRocco on it.
You see the Whoop Monster holding the colors as Carmichael comes to the whoops for the first time. It is Nathan Ramsey, Tim Ferry, John Dowd, Ezra Lusk, all giving chase here in the first 250 moto. He makes the corner. Now back through the whoops. This is where Buddy was talking about. A little easier coming back, and Carmichael just jumps right through.
He's going through there so fast, almost looks like he's slowing down the last couple to get ready for the corner.
Little pitch off the little tabletop, now up into the fast section. Carmichael reaches for a tear-off. There you see Ramsey in second, Ferry in third. And you have to go a ways back to Dow, the privateer on the CernisRacing.com KTM. And Carmichael already establishing himself, pulling away from the pack. You see Ferry trying to get around Ramsey.
You know what Ricky does so well is, yeah, he's got the speed and all that, but see these little mistakes? There's already been quite a few of those, and that one just there held up Tim Ferry. And Tim Ferry's made a couple of his own trying to find a good line. Ricky doesn't do that. He sits in the truck and visualizes what the track might be like. When they take that sight lap before the start, he looks at everything, and he doesn't miss anything on his first lap. He attacks it with the intensity that he drives with the entire race without a mistake, and that gives him 3 or 4 seconds in the opening lap, crushes the heart and the spirit of the guys behind him.
And when he does make a mistake, David, you got to admit, he rides right through it.
Yeah, he does. Or he's got so much speed, so much more under the hood that he'll just go, okay, well, let me make up for that real quick. 2 or 3 corners down the track, he makes that back up, and he still has his cushion.
So Carmichael takes off with the lead. Ramsey trying to hold up Ferry. Ezra Lusk is fourth. We will be right back to Millville in a moment.
Ride. Champions ride Hondas. Now and in the future.
I wanna ride, I wanna ride, I wanna ride.
The Honda XRs. They're a head start.
And speaking of Hondas, there goes the fastest one on the planet, Ricky Carmichael, 1 lap down in the books, already establishing himself as the leader here in the first 250 moto at Spring Creek Motocross Park in Millville, Minnesota. His teammate Nathan Ramsey is second, Tim Ferry is third, and there you see the Chevy Trucks Kawasaki of Ezra Lusk going through the whoops all day long. We're going to see this, David Bader.
Look at that. Those guys have nowhere to go. They're so busy trying to get through there that you don't really have the ability to steer out of that line. So if there's a problem in front of you, you end up in it.
John Dow trying to hold up Sebastian Tortelli with a terrible start, but not as bad as this guy, Mike LaRocco, having to come from outside the top 20. He's made his way into 7th, and then Damian Plotz is 8th on a CR 450R Honda. Tortelli trying an inside line. He's going to be set up for this corner. And there he makes the pass on veteran John Dow.
Got into that berm nice from the inside. He laid it in there, and look at the gap he opened up already.
Of course, Tortelli recently announced that he will be on a Suzuki next year, David. Do you think that's going to help him or hurt him in his pursuit of Carmichael?
Well, he thinks it's going to help him. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it. He just feels like he needs fresh surroundings. He doesn't want to be over there in the shadow of Carmichael in the Honda truck, but I don't know. I'd like to be close to the guy so you can keep an eye on exactly what he does. Here he is going around Plotz, just lays it into that outside berm. He's got the berms wired. If he could just get off the line that good, maybe he could run with Ricky today.
We should take another look at that pass of John Dow. We should mention that Sebastian and his wife Stephanie are the proud parents of a little boy named Enzo. Congratulations to the Tortellis on their first child. And now back to the action at hand. Dow getting pressure from Mike LaRocco. And usually when these guys get together, Dave, we talk about how many CCs there are out there. But God, just think of all the years.
About, what does it see? LaRocco's 30 and Dow's 38. So almost 70 years of experience out there.
Up the hill they go. John Dow out there, it seems like forever, a staple of the motocross circuit, and still contending for points. Right now trying to hold up Team USA's Mike LaRocco down over the ski jump. Now this is where Tortelli passed him. See if Dowd's able to hold the inside, and no, he just gave a little look over. He gave that lineup twice. Not exactly a very smart move there for a rider of that caliber. Should have seen that coming.
Yeah, it seems like he probably thought he had enough of a cushion over LaRocco, but as soon as Mike landed, he gassed it right down the middle. It didn't look like he hit a single bump. He's so strong, too. Even if he had to hit any bumps right there, his wrist is stronger now, and he can just muscle right through that stuff. Watch. He lands, rebounds, and he grabs a handful of throttle, wheelies over one braking bump right there in the middle so he didn't get that kick. John's like, I don't think I'll lean in on that guy. He'll just clean me out. So probably wanted to figure out what it was that Mike was doing a little bit better and try to get into a rhythm. So far, he just had people catch and pass him.
There you see Carmichael doubling and tripling his way out through the Millville woods. A little different this year. They set up differently because of the rain. Kind of packed a little more instead of pounding through like we used to see as he comes down this section. A lot of supercross skills.
That was beautiful. The whole run through there. Going into the corner, landing with his foot out. Look at the lead. He has the entire group section in and out on second place.
That was Ramsey and Ferry battling for second. Now you have to go a ways back to a battle for fourth between Lusk and Sebastian Tortelli. Oh, and Tim Ferry's gone down right in the middle of the woods. We turned our attention away, and Ferry crashes while trying to catch Ramsey for second place.
He kept it running, but it looked like he took a pause right there, like maybe catching his breath, and at the same time looking at the bike, make sure, let's see, is this thing straight? Let's see what happens here again. He gets the wheel turned. That's what happens. Those things are so deep. As soon as you get going through there crooked. That was a good job to keep the engine running, and he sort of set the bike down rather than really crashing, so he didn't bend it at all. He should be able to get back up and get into contention.
For Carmichael out front and in control. And while we were checking out what was going on with Tim Ferry, Sebastian Tortelli has moved into third.
The biggest names in motocross and off-road racing have an even bigger name under them. Suzuki. Do you want to be the next big name? Get on a Suzuki RM or DRZ today. Buy a new Suzuki motocross or off-road bike for 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest. Ride for free through March 2003.
One of the most prolific careers in American motocross history belongs to Jeff Ward, who was actually born in Glasgow, Scotland in 1961. After his family moved to California when he was still very young, Ward began showing up on the radar screen as a SoCal mini hot shoe, winning countless mini-cycle championships as a Honda factory rider. Small in stature but huge in heart, the Flying Freckle turned pro in 1978 and began working his way up through the AMA ranks. 1 year later, he joined Team Kawasaki, a brand he would stay with until the end of his motocross career 13 years later. Along the way, Ward and Kawasaki won 56 races and 7 major championships. Jeff Ward retired from pro motocross shortly after his last national win in 1992, but he did not exactly hang up his helmet. He began a career in open-wheel racing that has led him to the front of the pack at races like the Indianapolis 500.
Jeff Ward into second.
As a matter of fact, the IRL star for the Ganassi Target Racing Back team recently won the Boomtown 500 in Texas.
Checkered flag is out ahead, and Jeff Ward takes it.
When he's not racing at 200+ miles per hour, Ward lives with his wife Candace and their 4 children in San Juan Capistrano, California. Back to Spring Creek Motocross Park in Millville, Minnesota. Ricky Carmichael out front, his pursuit of perfection going very well. 2 guys who should be giving him a challenge, just not having luck in this moto. Mike LaRocco and Tim Ferry, and there goes LaRocco on the inside to pass Ferry. Of course, we should mention that Carmichael, Ferry, and LaRocco, that is Team USA for the 2002 Motocross Des Nations coming up at the end of September. Quite honestly, Carmichael's got to be the favorite to win that. In fact, we asked Ricky what was left. He's got the championships, the records. What else can Ricky do?
if I win today and win another title, that's eight titles, major titles, you know, 3 125s and 2 250 supercrosses, and could be 3 250 outdoors. That's a lot of winning just at the age of 22. And to be honest with you, I don't really know what there is else left to do, but at this point, just to have a lot of fun and try to get financially stable so one day I can have a family and take them on the road and hopefully have some boys and let them race. But, you know, I see myself in the sport for, you know, a long time.
Ricky Carmichael, you know he still enjoys going to the races, camps out all the time now. Be neat to see a few more little Rickies around.
It'd be good. It'd be tough to have a dad like Ricky Carmichael and a grandma like Jeannie Carmichael, though. Actually, I think my son's probably already dealing with that, with me being his dad and the professor being his grandpa.
Back to the battle for second. This is Ricky's 2 Honda teammates. That is Nathan Ramsey and Sebastian Tortelli. Tortelli has recovered nicely from a terrible start, but right there he paused in that corner. Lost a little clip of time to Nathan Ramsey.
You know what, though? That was smart. And if you're watching that and you wonder why you're trying your hardest and you're not getting anywhere, and sometimes you can try a little bit too hard. Tortelli realized that rather than go over this burn, let me just stop and make sure I don't mess up the next straightaway. And actually Ramsey did, and he closed that gap right back up. He almost had an opportunity to make a pass.
You see Carmichael way out front. He's just cruising around. This, of course, would be his 19th moto win in 19 motos to date. Perfect season, still alive. He pulls over to shake hands with Chuck Miller of the Honda team.
You know what, though, Davey, every time I watch Ricky, as much as I am amazed, he can be faster. He can be better. He can be more flawless, have more finesse. And there's things, if he wants to, that he can study and be so much more amazing than he already is.
He clinches this race. Does he drop down to ride at 125 at Steel City again?
No way. Stay in there and pitch a perfect game. I mean, plus there's people saying, oh, he'll probably ride a 4-stroke now. Look at him acknowledging the fans. That's so cool. They'll remember that forever. In fact, I gave my trophy here at Millville one year to a kid standing by the stage, and they still have it.
Carmichael, just a couple more corners to go, and another moto win is in the books. One more step closer to what would be his 3rd straight 250 championship, his 8th career championship. And that would put him 1 behind Jeremy McGrath. Now back to the battle for second. Ramsey still trying to hold off Tortelli. It's going to be a Honda sweep either way, but will it be Ramsey in second or Tortelli? Down off the woods, Tortelli trying to lap an inside pass. Ramsey sweeps in, and he is going to run out of time right here. Coming down the inside, Tortelli. No room to stick that wheel in, and Ramsey will roll across the checkered flag in second, and Tortelli rounds out the top 3. 1, 2, 3 for Honda. Ezra Luskin 4th on the Kawasaki, and there you see Mike LaRocco. His comeback ends in 5th. So there you see the results from the first moto. Carmichael, Ramsey, Tortelli, Luskin, LaRocco. And then Tim Ferry after that crash is 6th. John Dowd 7th. Robbie Raynard, top privateer, actually 2nd privateer, back in 8th. And Evan Lockridge, that rookie, gets some points. Let's go down to Robbie.
Ricky, great ride. You want to talk about demoralizing, man? You put it to him right off the bat.
Yeah, it was a good race. My Honda Dunlop tires were hooking up great off the gate, man. I was out of there. I don't know. My reaction time was good. I went straight as an arrow, and that's what it was all about, man. It was really fun out there.
Straight as an arrow. Dowd was on the outside in that first turn. He was probably going to give you a little more.
Yeah, he every year he starts on the outside and sweeps around, and I sweat more to the outside this year to hold the hole shots, and man, it was awesome. I'm so pumped with the way today went, and can't be any better.
If you don't go down, can anybody beat you at this track?
Anybody can be beaten on any day.
If you don't go down.
I feel really good. That's all I'll say. This track is just like my house, and the Honda's working excellent today. You know, Fox and Oakley, everyone who's got me here. Thanks a lot.
Good job.
Carmichael's perfect season continues when we return.